So we started yesterday with this report, and since then, well, much has changed. Now new reports coming out. Do you know the message that was sent? Maybe a message that shouldn't have been sent. Do you know the action that was taken that forced Trump's hand? Do you know what it was? All this may have been preventable, but no. One move. It's now being rumored. Set everything in motion. If you don't know what it was, don't worry, we're going to cover it. And also what may be coming next, because they've also said this isn't over. A new leader now being appointed. An angle that many aren't talking about, but we're about to in just a few seconds. First, I want everyone just to stay calm, because there's going to be much information, many angles coming out. Everybody's going to be trying to sensationalize things. Reports coming out across the country, unfortunately. The FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force has joined the investigation in Austin's mass shooting based on preliminary evidence at the scene. Some people spitting up because, obviously, FBI alerts are up everywhere. What's going to happen here domestically after these attacks in Iran? I apologize. 9 shot at Cincinnati concert venue, so everyone must remain calm. All these things will have to be determined and assessed, but we must stay focused on one story. This major combat operation underway and ongoing. But what tripped it off? The Ayatollah, Khamenei, now confirmed dead. 40 days of mourning, 7 days of public holiday. Reshaping global politics immediately. Maybe you shouldn't have sent the message. Maybe they shouldn't have done what they did if reports are confirmed. Of course, I guess it depends what side of the aisle you're on. Do you know what they were preparing to do that set everything in motion? We're going to get there rather quickly, and we're going to discuss why this and many other headlines made me irate. How the New York Times and the Washington Post put out headlines like this is unacceptable. Before we get there, do me a huge favor. Make sure you're subscribed to Lisa's channel. Make sure your bell is checked to all. Love you to check out my video yesterday. We did also make sure you subscribe while you're there. Your comments, your share is always appreciated. Also have a very special sponsor today.
Well, I think we can all agree lately that everything going on in the world just feels loud. I mean, all the time, everyone just wants to pull you into the noise. But what's important is to stay grounded amid all of that and really focus on what matters. And that's why today I've got something very meaningful that does exactly that. I'm talking about this sterling silver cross necklace, and on its box are the words that have guided our country for generations. In God we trust. For me personally, it's pieces like this that are a quiet reminder just to slow down and really remember that the real strength comes from trusting God's plan, not some forceful outcome. And look, at the end of the day, there can only be one side worth standing on, and that is God's side. If any of this resonates with you, I want to encourage you to check out the MAGAoffers.com/Lisa Cross, the MAGAoffers.com/Lisa Cross. And right now you can get 50% off your sterling silver cross using my link. And better yet, if you guys want to give them a call, you can do that. 1-855-550-6242 and use the promo code Lisa Cross. If you want more info, click that more button or click the link in the description box below.
But now let's get back to this video. Ayatollah Khamenei, hardline cleric who made Iran a regional power, is dead at 86. As Iran's supreme leader, he brutally crushed the Senate home and expanded Iran's footprint abroad, challenging Saudi Arabia for regional dominance. Who made Iran a regional power? I would have taken a different twist on that. What about what he did to his people? Weird obituary, huh? I definitely don't want them writing his obituary. They might as well write Darth Vader's obituary. If they did, it would be Darth Vader, a skilled swordsman, pilot, and mechanic who overcame crippling injuries to become a charismatic leader of an empire and loving father. But that's what they do. Washington Post did no better. Ayatollah Khamenei's Iran supreme leader is dead at 86, and go down in the article. With his bushy white beard and easy smile, a figure in public that his perpetually scowling but much more revered mentor. And he was known to be fond of Persian poetry and classic Western novels, especially Victor Hugo's Les Miserables. But like the uncompromising Khamenei, he opposed moderates' efforts to promote political and social reforms domestically and to secure rapprochement with the United States. How sweet. Nearly gushing. This is how the media portrays him. They weren't as kind to Dilbert's creator, now were they? Breaking news, Scott Adams, whose comic strip Dilbert was a sensation until he made racist comments on his podcast, has died at 68. He deserved less respect than the Ayatollah Allah Khamenei. That's how our mainstream media views the state of politics. It's terrifying, isn't it? But let's get back to the main story now, shall we? Because the same man starts lobbing missiles at other Muslim nations. But don't look at that. Ignore that. Let's ignore what's happening in Westwood, Los Angeles. I'll turn off the volume. Nobody appears happy about this at all. No, he was such a good man, there was no reason for celebration. They must all be off their rocker, not know what they're doing, huh? No celebrations in the street. Nobody appears happy at all. Wait, Iranian Americans marching through the streets of Los Angeles in celebration. It appears they're happy with what President Trump did. Maybe the mainstream media just, maybe these people have it wrong and the mainstream media has it right. What do you think? I'm just asking for a friend. Everyone from the country. 47 years ago, I stood at a window in Tehran as a 3-year-old boy, smelling burning tires and hearing a chants that would steal my country. I didn't have words for what was happening today. I'm watching smoke rise over the same city, but this time the smoke is not the end of Iran. It is, God willing, the beginning of her resurrection. But maybe he's wrong too, because American mainstream media knows better. Jane Fonda knows better, who came out from her multi-million-dollar home into the hills to tell all the Iranian people why their liberation is a bad thing because she knows better. Hollywood knows better. And Gavin Newsom knows better. The corrupt and repressive Iranian regime must never have nuclear weapons. The leadership of Iran must go, but that does not justify the President of the United States engaging in an illegal, dangerous war that will risk the lives of American service members and our friends without justification to the American people. But them getting a bomb is perfectly okay. President Trump is putting Americans at risk abroad because he is unpopular at home. I just wish Gavin Newsom would shut up. That man and I would never be friends, but this is power now, isn't it? Peace through strength. As the President stated, our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime. Do you agree that they were an imminent threat, yes or no? Intelligence now coming out that they were an immediate and urgent imminent threat, and hence forcing President Trump's hand. The power of the U.S. military in full display. God bless each and every military member. On the ground, so far, 3 have perished. CENTCOM's Task Force Scorpion Strike, for the first time in history, is using one-way attack drones in combat during Operation Epic Fury. The low-cost drones modeled after Iran's Shahed drones are now delivering American-made retribution. And then we find out. Believe Scott Jennings or not, I respect him. He's done a great job. Senior Trump administration officials tell him that credible intelligence indicated Iran planned preemptive missile strikes against U.S. military targets in the region and against civilian targets as well. Failure to act would have resulted in mass U.S. casualties, and hence you find out the trigger point. Do you agree with that, or do you think that was just rhetoric to launch an attack? Put it in the comments below, please. They've been negotiating for weeks on top of weeks on top of weeks. Do you believe that the Iranian regime was just waiting for an agreement? Or were they stalling for a tactical advantage? And when the moment was right, because if you noticed, what we attacked was vehicles on runways, missiles ready to go. Somewhat validating exactly what Scott Jennings said, but don't worry because, Tim Kaine knows better. He debunked that claim.
President Trump has advocated all kinds of reasons for this unnecessary war with Iran. It's because of their nuclear program. Wait a minute, 6 months ago, he said he'd obliterated the program. Years ago, he tore up a diplomatic deal that was controlling Iran's nuclear program. He suggested last night the war was justified because Iran interfered in the 2020 election, that he refused.
Sorry, folks, that's enough. I get so sick of talking points and sound bites, and that's all these folks ever talk about. Talking points and sound bites. Talking points and sound bites. We have soldiers in harm's way. This is military combat. 3 U.S. service members killed, 5 seriously wounded in an Iran operation. This is what's happening right now. FBI warning of sleeper cells in the U.S. Sounds alarm on threats, and then I showed you those 2 reports coming out of the U.S. This is an active theater happening right now. Situation's fluid. So out of respect for families, we will withhold additional information, including the identities of our fallen warriors, until 24 hours after next of kin have been notified. This is developing. International community, what happens? Of course, the Brits come out. We had nothing to do with it. Forgive us. Of course, they always do the same thing. Others, shockingly, Australia and Canada backed Trump on striking Iran. I was a bit shocked by this. Russia, I knew exactly what they would say. Russia, killing of Khamenei, a cynical violation of morality. You knew what they'd have to say that. They're part of the BRICS nations, right? Russia, China, Iran. Why would you expect anything different? This hobbled BRICS. This is going to hurt China and Russia. Don't kid yourself. But there'll be a new leader appointed. You didn't expect there to be one? Of course there's going to be one. I'll get there in a second. The Iranian regime had a chance, yet refused to make a deal. And now they're suffering the consequences. This from Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. For almost 50 years, Iran has targeted and killed Americans, always seeking the world's most powerful weapons to further their radical cause. Last night, unlike any previous president, President Trump began dealing with this cancer. We will not tolerate powerful missiles targeting the American people. Those missiles will be destroyed, along with Iran's missile production, which they did. 200 planes simultaneously. It was a powerful strike. We're still learning the details of that strike. Well coordinated, had to be rushed. Meeting happened far quicker than they thought the meeting would happen. Supreme leader there, along with his top generals, and they struck. And they killed him. The United States did not start this conflict, but we will finish it. If you kill or threaten Americans anywhere in the world, as Iran has, then we will hunt you down and we will kill you. Our warriors are the best in the world, and they are fully unleashed to achieve our objectives. May God's providence protect them in this vital mission. Iranian's crown prince calls on military police security service to abandon crumbling Islamist regime. Will they? This is their opportunity. Was this about regime change? What do you believe? Do you believe President Trump truly is trying to aid the people in regime change? Yes or no? To end the nuclear ambitions? Yes or no? He made his announcement. One of the most evil people in history is dead. This is not only justice for the people of Iran, but for all great Americans. And those people from many countries throughout the world, they've been killed or mutilated by Khamenei and his gang of bloodthirsty thugs. He was unable to avoid our intelligence and highly sophisticated tracking systems, and he did not. And so they found him. Iran just stated they're going to hit very hard today, harder than they have ever hit before. They better not do that. However, because of this, if they do, we will hit them with a force that has never been seen before, beyond the force that they've already been hit by. Could only imagine what that looks like. Still trying to figure out the meaning of this he posted just a few moments ago. Santa Trump. Maybe because he delivered a gift to the Iranian people. Maybe that's what that means. Because it appears Iran did have an exit path. They chose not to take it. We find out now they were preparing preemptive strikes, forcing Trump's hand. They prepared a preemptive meeting. And they rushed that meeting. And they rushed our attack. And the Ayatollah is now no longer with us. Could that have been prevented? Maybe he shouldn't have sent those texts. Which ones, you might ask? Oh, you probably forgot about those. A lot of people did, of course. The U.S. president has said that for 47 years, the United States hasn't been able to eliminate the Islamic Republic, these ex-posts. The United States hasn't been able to eliminate the Islamic Republic. This isn't a good confession. I say you too will not be able to do this. Well, that didn't age too well, now did it? Or the U.S. president keeps saying that they have the strongest military force in the world. The strongest military force in the world may at times be struck so hard that it can't not even get up again. Be careful. Those messages are not forgotten, and they were not forgotten. And so we got our intelligence, deep intelligence. We knew the time and place, although you attempted to rush it. Our intelligence was faster and precise. And images of Khamenei were sent to Israel and to President Trump to confirm that death. And now new intelligence rising out that Trump knew, or may know, who the replacement would be. And that successor has been named. As questions hang over who will ultimately succeed Iran's slain supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, an interim leader has been appointed to fulfill his duties. Top Shia cleric Alireza Arafi has been named to Interim Leadership Council after Supreme Leader Khamenei has been confirmed killed in U.S. strikes. Now, will this be the permanent? We don't know. Things developing, folks. Don't let anyone rush you into conclusions. This will change by the minute. This is an active war theater. And here they come again. The UN condemns U.S.-Israel strikes on Iran. They don't condemn anything else. What Iran was doing, did they condemn or stop that? No. Have they stopped anything in their history? No. Condonations, stern words. But now, of course, they turn their ire on the United States. Emergency Security Council meeting called. As UN Chief Guterres condemns U.S.-Israel strikes on Iran, this is unacceptable, he states. And we'll have to contend here with our own media. Dread U.S. rogue state under President Trump. Forget about Iran as a rogue state. Let's frame it as President Trump being the rogue agent. Seriously. I'm starting with the media, and I'll end with the media. Shocking daytime attack, timed to inner circle meetings. Massive explosion rocks Tehran. Israel vows nonstop strikes. Iranian Revolutionary Guard vows regret-inducing punishment looms. But Trump is the rogue state. The United States, aka, would be the rogue state. What say you? Were we justified or not justified? President Trump had intelligence that Iran was going to attack. Americans. He took action. He had been negotiating for weeks, some would say months. There was going to be no deal reached. Those terms were never going to be accepted. Iran was buying its time. It's not unrealistic to believe buying its time to prepare for an attack. And so Trump handled it. And then more intelligence coming out. That meeting was accelerated. A meeting for what, you might ask? To advance that attack that they were preparing for? Doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility now, does it? With negotiations breaking down? I always told my audience it was not a matter of if, it was when, and now it has happened. And this will continue to develop. They've already alerted that these strikes are not going to discontinue. We will have the fallout in the international political order. We will have the fallout, unfortunately, in the mainstream media order. We will have the fallout of the talking heads. We will have the fallout of the entertainment heads. Because Orange Man's always bad. But he's always said the same thing. Peace through strength. And there'll be many more updates to follow. I love you all. Until next time, Godspeed and God bless. Justice Knight. Signing out.